Welcome to Soulful Spaces, Junk Journaling Techniques. Join me on this journey of creativity and faith as we are going to explore the art of junk journaling. So we are going to be transforming ordinary materials into extraordinary works of art, all the while deepening our connection with God. In today's episode of Soulful Spaces, we are going to make another beautiful piece of ephemera that I was inspired by another crafter. Her name and her channel is called Seven Plaza, and I think her name is Margreth, is how they say her name. She's Dutch. And she is doing Mass Make March. And I watched her last night making this, and I quickly came out into my studio, grabbed a piece of paper, and made it. And it was just so beautiful. So I'm going to teach you how to make this. Now, what are we going to make this beautiful piece of ephemera from? We need one piece of double-sided cardstock, double-sided scrapbook paper. And I'm going to show you how we make this. So let's look at that. Now, of course, Diane's version of hers, mine is all about faith. So I can't add faith with the paper, right? But I can add faith with my tickets and tags and things like that. Isn't this just gorgeous? So you have 1, 2, 3 pockets on the front. Turn it over. You have another pocket, that's 4. And then you have this sweet little pocket here that's 5. So there's 5 pockets in this one piece of double-sided scrapbook paper. And I was so excited because if you watch my other videos, I had just gone to Joann's now that they're closing all the stores and decided, oh, maybe I can get something good. So I got 2 packs of double-sided scrapbook paper, and I got them for 40% off. So that was good. That was right before they announced they were all closing. So anyway, I'm going to show you, we're going to make a whole nother one, but I wanted to just show you how beautiful this is. Now, my ephemera that I've added into this piece is from my note and verse cards kit. So I have 7, no wait, I have even more than that. I think I have 6 or 7 ephemera kits, and the majority of my ephemera kits are faith-based kits because you can use all the supplies that you have for regular junk journaling and then add faith by adding ephemera pieces. So in this kit, there's lots of fun things that don't say anything about God on them and that are just pretty, but then I've gone ahead and added some ones with verses and stuff like that in this kit. So that's the kit that I used. So here's a place to jot a note. Now, what if you were just going to make this as a standalone and give it to a friend? You could give it like as a card, right? And stick a gift card in it, write them a note. Here's another piece out of there. Now, what I did was I had printed this kit on my 33-pound matte photo paper, so it wasn't real stiff. And what I ended up doing is we're going to trim down the 12 by 12, and there's strips of it left. And so I laid down my ephemera pieces onto the paper, the cardstock, and then I made them much more sturdy. And that's how I ended up, sticking those in there. And then here's another piece out of that kit, another little fun spot to write. And I, again, backed it with this paper. And then this tag is from the Mass Make video that I just did, was Mass Make collage tags. And so here it is finished. This Jesus, the Way, the Truth, and the Life ends up being a sticker out of my Colossal Ephemera kit. And if you print it on, there's a whole page of faith word art graphics. And if you print it on sticker paper, works that way if you want to do clear sticker paper. Or I just print it on vellum, and then it acts just like a sticker. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to stick that one in there. So we've added, as a note to somebody, yes, it's about faith, but our faith is based on Jesus because he is the way, he is the truth, and he is the life. And no one comes to the Father except through him. On the back, another one of the same tags. See how versatile, and I'm showing you how quickly I've been able to use these. So the Mass Make was doing the collage on all the backs. And then I sat there and pulled out all my tickets and ephemera and just gave a focal point for each one of my tags. So now, see, I just grabbed them and they're ready to go into another piece because when it comes to collage, I am not going to sit and make one tag or two tags for one project. I want to have them. And I like that I arranged all the different color schemes. So now I just kind of match them up to whatever paper that I'm working with. And then these two little pieces are from that kit, and so is this one. And it's just a pretty little flower. And again, I backed it on this paper. So then I decided that I wanted it to be a pullout, right? Now, if you didn't want to put these things in the back, then you don't have to, but then it'd be stuck down. You only get 1, 2, 3 spots. I like that it's a standalone, okay? And so what I've done is I decided to, let's put it in a belly band. Well, I wanted to do lace. And when I looked at just the lace and the heaviness, the sturdiness of this, I realized lace is not going to work. So I took a piece of the paper. There's 2 sheets of this in that pad, and I cut it, and then I laid the lace on top of the paper so that now when I put that in, it's a little bit sturdier, but I still get the lace effect. So that's how it looks. Now let's teach you how to make this. So here's the paper pad that I'm going to be using. The one that I already put into my journal is this paper pad. This was called English Gardens, and it's die cuts with a view DC Wit WV. And that's what I took out of this one. It's a little bit more English Garden vintagey, and I thought that was fun. And then I picked up this paper pad, the real, just a total vintage. And this is a really nice paper pad. If you have a Joann's near you, and if they have anything left, I would tell you to go ahead and get this one. I just really like some of the pages. Now, I make digital kits. So you could say, Diane, why aren't you using a digital kit? I'm going to make another one, not in this video, but I can definitely do it. I just have to print it double-sided with my digital paper. But again, I got this nice cardstock double-sided, so I figured let's pick something for this. Now, when you see this kind of a design, this is really not going to work for this project because you're going to cut into the design. I think it's going to be wonky. I haven't tried it. I just couldn't visualize it. So something like this, yes, this is directional, but I think that would work. I'm not sure those would work either. I might play around and show you later. So what I picked was that one. Yeah, I just thought, okay, that is just so much fun. So the first thing that you have to do, it's a 12 by 12. We're going to use the scoreboard because we're going to put a score in there. You don't have to have a scoreboard if you don't have one. But I'm going to get my big paper cutter out, and I am going to cut this to 8.5 by 11. Oh, I was like, why is this not going in there? It's because this little strip on the top, you have to cut out to make it really be 12 by 12. And save these because I used to throw these little strips away. And Natasha just showed in her video how she uses these to make paper ruffles. Oh my gosh, she's so smart. Okay, so now I have a 12 by 12. And now I'm going to go over and go 8.5. 8.5, Diane. Okay. So we're going to do 8.5 that way, and we're going to do 11 tall. So it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that we're going to work with. Now save these parts because this is what I used in that other one to back things and stuff. So hopefully this is going to work. I think we can make this work. It is directional. So let me set this aside. We're going to get the scoreboard out. And I am going, now let's see, it's going to go sideways. Nope. I should have cut it the other way. I just realized that. If I'd cut it the other way, yeah. Okay, I cut. So now we just learned a lesson. We're going to take the other sheet out. It should, the direction of the pattern, the width should be this way, not this way. Okay, let's do that again. Diane will learn yet, right? Well, I'm still learning. But that's the beauty of the internet, isn't it? Because I get to watch other people. They teach me, I teach you, and then we all share our collective skill sets, and we all enrich each other's lives. That's the beauty. Okay, we're going to cut that one off again so we know that. Okay. So I said that the width has to be this way. That's going to be the 11. Now wait, let me make sure I'm doing this right? Okay. The 8.5 is going to be this way. So let's turn it now so that I know I'm doing this right. This is going to be 8.5, right? And that's by 11. Yes, now it's going to work. Okay, so now you learned that. If you're using a directional pattern, the other one that I made didn't have a direction, right? It was an all over pattern, so it didn't matter which way you cut it. But when you have a directional pattern, to make it be correct in viewing it, your width needs to be the width of how we're going to fold it. Okay, anyway, you'll see as I go forward. So now we're going to cut this 8.5, and we already know that this is 11 because we did it, right? So it's, oh no, I didn't cut that. There's 11. You know what? I'm going to cut this side off instead. There's 11. Okay, now, I mean, this paper will not go to waste, obviously. I can make something totally different out of it, but you see the difference? So you want your width to be opposite of the direction of your paper. So this goes this way, and you'll see why, because I would be folding this up. This is going to be totally upside down. This might be upside down too, but it's okay. So we've got these extra pieces. So what are we going to do first? We are going to, this is going to come together as a trifold, right? Now you could do this and just make it all even, but I liked her idea of she made this short, this left fold was shorter than it normally would, and then she folded it over. And that gives you an advantage to make the really pretty V, okay? So we're going to lay this on here. We are going to score on, so if it's an 11, it would be, what, 3.75? So I'm just going to do it at 3. I'm going to score it at 3. Okay? Now, if you don't have a scoreboard, what would you do? Very simple. Let me show you. Hopefully you have a metal ruler. If you don't have a metal ruler, you definitely need to get a metal ruler. You're just going to put it, like, you know, measure it this way and then put a little mark. And then you're just going to hold this here and then just score it. That's all you have to do. Okay, so we scored that. We're going to fold that. Okay, and now we are going to fold this all the way over. And you will see that, as I said, it's offset. And that's exactly the way that we wanted it. Now, let me sit back down again. Sorry. Put my head in there. Okay. Now, this is the way we have it, okay? And that goes like that, and that goes like that. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to decide how, see, I scored it too much. So this is nice cardstock, but it's not that good as cardstock. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put some Scotch tape on there and put it back together, because as we just said, this piece, I messed up the first one. But it's good that you see my mistakes, because then you don't have to make the mistake, right? Okay, so we've got that glued back together. Oh, I may have to put it on this, which actually will be okay because it's going to fold and you're not going to even notice this. So pay attention to the weight of your paper when you're doing a scoring. Obviously, I scored it too much into this. This one is actually lighter weight than that one is, so that's probably one of the problems. We're going to make a fold up. Okay, I'm going to get my scoreboard back because I have one. And we would have, this was laying here and we scored it on 3, right? I'm going to turn it because we're going to score it this way. I'm going to put this over in the corner. Actually, I'll put it this way in the corner. Yeah, that way I'm telling you the actual measurement. And I am going to score, I think I did 2, which I liked, and I'm going to do this very lightly on this paper. So I scored 2. Okay, so now we have a piece that comes up like that. Now we don't need our scoreboard anymore. Okay, so we've got our piece that looks like this. This folds in, the left folds in, and then the right folds over. Now, the fun part of what she did, which I thought was just so cool, you need to find the intersection of these 2 folds and just kind of make a little mark. See what I'm doing? I'm just putting a little pencil mark there. This one will be a little bit easier because we already got the tape on there. Because we're going to trim our paper to make the fun folds. So on the right-hand side, hold on, I got to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, so I just made it, and I thought I was just so smart, right? Okay, it folds like this and like this. And we want this to fold up that way. So we need to release it right there, correct. So on the fold line, the score line, I'm going to go right up to there. So I've released this, and it's actually going to go that direction. On, oh, I think I might have cut it the wrong way. Well, it'll work anyway because that's what we're going to do. Then this is going to go up this way, and then we need it. Oh, see, I did. I'm just having fun making this thing with you, aren't I? It's totally messed up. Okay, I figured it out. So we came up this way. We're going to come across this way. You know, before I do all that, I think I need to do my folds because then I think you'll get, it'll help me too. So what you're going to do is take this left side, you're going to fold it to your fold line on the diagonal, okay? You're going to do the same thing on this one. Now this one, you're going to see that it's much bigger, but that's okay. Right? Now you'll see this much better. Okay, this one's going to go in. And see, I did it to the line, but I must have gone a little bit over the line. So I am going to just trim some of that off. And it doesn't matter because you're not going to see it. It's just so that it'll close. There we go. Okay, so this, yeah, this one goes first. Oh, I'm having such a hard time with this today. I did the same thing on that one. I fold too far. Okay, that's going to go over there. This is going to come over here, and this is going to fold up like that. This is going to fold up there. See, now I've got it, okay? And then on the back, let me get the one out that I already made so that you'll see what I'm talking about. So on the back, this piece comes over. So I need to trim it this way on that part, which is totally opposite of that. So we cut up this way, we're going to cut over this way, okay? So having it bent is going to be easier for me to actually see it. Okay, now it's coming together. But again, sometimes it's good to watch somebody else make a mistake and you don't make the mistake. So see how when this comes up, this goes over. So yes, it's upside down, but okay, whatever. Now our tape is not acting right, but it'll be okay. I should probably put some glue on. So there's the basic. We haven't glued anything down, but hopefully now you see what we did, okay? And now we have the basis of our little folded piece. So now we're going to go ahead and we are going to glue. So you're going to just glue this edge and this edge. You're going to fold that down, okay? You'll come over here and do the same with that. We want to fold that down and that side down. Okay, so we've got those two parts done. So the left comes in, the right goes over. Now see how it's wider, and that's why she did it the way that she did it. This is going to come up. That's going to work, okay? And what we're going to do with this is we are just going to add, because we're making a pocket, just on the sides. And that's going to go up to there, okay? And let's leave that like that, flip it over. This is going to be a pocket, this back piece. Before I glue any of this down, I want to do a little thumb notch right there. And this is a real tiny one, so I'm using a smaller little circle. Okay, and of course, did I edge everything? Of course not, because I'm so busy trying to figure out the mistake that I made. But I hope that you got it. I'll probably make it one more time on a piece of paper and just show you. That'd probably be the easiest. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'll do. I'll just do it on a piece of paper and we'll write on the paper. And then you'll know exactly what goes where. Okay? So let's edge this. Gonna edge this. Okay, I didn't edge that one, but we can kind of come back over. We'll just edge it like that. That'll work. Now, I could have put a thumb notch on that too. Guess what? I didn't. Okay. There we go. Okay, so small side goes in. So we're going to go ahead and put our glue right on the bottom of this. That's going to go in. There we go. This is going to go over, and we're going to put that just on the bottom because we're making pockets, remember. Okay, so the front is glued, and on the back we want a pocket to come in this direction. So we're only going to put glue right there and right there on that one flap. This, okay, where the glue dries, let me get it a little bit darker. There we go. Okay, so that piece there, and this piece comes over from there. And I think I'm going to round the edges. I think it would just look nice before we put that down. And we'll put that one in there too. There we go. And now we're just going to glue a bead right there on both sides because, again, it is a pocket. And now we have our whole thing. Now this, I need to make sure I put glue on this side. I didn't put the glue there. So we'll get that glue down. And so from one sheet of 8.5 by 11, double-sided, look at the beautiful piece of ephemera that we've made. And as I've shown you, you have 5 pockets, right? So you go in here, in there, that's 3 on this side. On the back, 4, and then 5. So that's how you get it. That's how to make this. I took the one that I thought I messed up and I went ahead and finished it because it actually worked out really well. So I used one of my tickets to add Trust in the Lord and added some fun brads to it. And these are pieces from, let's see, my vintage ephemera kit. There's lots of fun pieces in there. Here's actually a postcard and a quick story about this. This is actually a scanned copy of a real postcard that Timmy, one of my crafting buddies, her grandmother sent this to her grandfather, and it's in French. And so she gave me their letters, and they're actually in one of my kits. So anyway, I printed that on cardstock, and then I added, again, here we go again, my collage ticket that I had already done, and I've got Grace is Sufficient from 2 Corinthians 12:9. So you can put that on right on that, okay? And then on the back, another piece of vintage French ephemera from my vintage ephemera kit. And I left this, I decided to just take a little piece of green and add a little paper tab. Just stick it into there. Now I could put another word on there, but I think it's pretty just the way it is.